My name is Emilia Lahti. I am the author of the upcoming book called Gentle Power. Most of my life, I used to view inner strength and inner fortitude in terms of having the courage to take action against very slim odds, having the strength to push on and endure extreme adversities. And all the professions that I held also were reinforcing this kind of a narrative. So, being an executive assistant at the Consulate General of Finland in New York, being a startup entrepreneur in Silicon Valley, later being an ultra endurance athlete. And in all of those cases, the message was to push as hard as you can, win, and unfortunately, oftentimes to do it almost at any cost. And there's a high price that people are paying for this kind of a mindset, and that I paid. So it wasn't until I started working on my PhD on Sisu, Sisu being a Finnish concept that does not have a direct translation, but it denotes this kind of inner fortitude, the ability to unearth hidden, latent power reserves in those moments when we feel that we have reached the end of our mental or physical capacities. It's almost like a second wind of energy. And there didn't used to be a word in psychology for this universal human experience and phenomena. So I was on one of my rather unusual field trips for my research. I was in New Zealand running the length of the country, so 1,500 miles and doing 30 miles per day, 50 kilometers. And in addition to that, we were organizing events for people in the community who were passionate about being positive drivers for positive change in the world. And so by day 12, I had come to the end of my rope. There had been some unexpected challenges and some expected challenges like an impending stress fracture. And that was the moment that proved to be the most key for me, because it showed me the paradoxical nature of strength and power, and it spoke to me of greatness of another kind, which is the power of gentleness. So in that tough moment, what I noticed was that it was still, despite of the pain, despite of the trouble, it was easier for me to be tough on myself and be hard on myself than allow my heart to soften up and attune to myself. So there and then on the road by myself, I gradually found hardiness that wasn't hard. I found strength that was not stifled by stubbornness. And I was able to allow myself to soften up. And I would love to read a very brief snippet from my research notes from January 2018. Strange how letting go became such a thing on a journey that was supposed to be about holding on, being tough and not giving up. As I take off my mask of pain, performance, and perfection, I become everyone and everything. I connect to truth, love, and true leadership. And that, as I have seen, is much harder than being clever and tough. So, while Sisu has been making waves in the global media in the last couple of years, what I've noticed, what is missing, is discussion about Sisu, how it actually is viewed in Finland. And so Sisu in its home country relates to values such as integrity and honesty. It is an invitation to view how we are doing what we are doing, not just merely whether we are doing it or not. So it is a question about quality, and therefore it offers us a chance to elevate ourselves, which is the most beautiful, most potent and powerful thing to me about Sisu and why I'm so passionate about it. And so our most audacious strength, I would say, is less about what we do and whether we are able to bend reality through our willpower, which is of course a great quality. But the next level of our personal life, and quite frankly, I believe our future, is determined by how we do what we do. And so when the storm ceases, when we come to an end of a chapter in our lives that has been demanding, when we look back, can I look back and say that I honored myself and I honored the people around me? So gentle power is strength acquired not by force, but it's leadership in our daily lives that is fueled by the unexpected power of firm yet adaptive suppleness. So Sisu, an inner strength winged with suppleness, leads to inner leadership that is unforced. It is power perhaps reserved for souls who are brave enough to be gentle. So I welcome you on a journey that is, on one hand, an ode to storytelling of the lived human experience of human fortitude, but which also carries a very vital and potent message for this current time, which is the message of the graceful audacity of gentle power. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you for listening.